Hi guys, Blair Ballard here. We're back in St James's. Yesterday I got the call to say that my Bespoke shirts had arrived from the Gloucester factory here in Bury Street. But before we try them on, let me show you what happened when I went to the factory in Quedgeley and see how the shirts get made. Welcome to the Turnbull Asser factory here in Quedgeley near Gloucester. We're about 2.5 hours west of London, and this is where the magic really happens.
Hello, my name's Beth Elton. I'm the factory floor manager at Turnbull Asser here in Quedgeley, Gloucester. Okay, the process of buying a bespoke shirt is you pay a visit to Bury Street in Jermyn Street in London, and then an order will be created by being measured, and then a brown paper pattern is made by our George in Bury Street, and that would be processed and sent here. And once it comes here, it will go to the CAD room, and our CAD team would make a paper pattern, which is then presented to the cutting room to actually cut out the shirt. And then once the shirt has been cut out, obviously it goes into the sewing room, where all the very different ladies and different operations are done in the sewing room to give us the perfect shirt.
Okay, Kath, so where are we now? What's up?
Good morning, Blair. What we're doing first, we're going to get your digitised bespoke sample and take it over to the process of what's called sub-assembly, which is part making the shirt, and then we'll do the main assembly afterwards. So if you'd like to follow me.
Lead on.
The first thing is to read all instructions. Now I pre-prepared the cuffs. This is a 2-button turn back, and so I pre-pressed it for convenience sake, and now I'm going to trim, and this is so that as the cuffs are turned out, they are nice and smooth. Now I'm going to turn them out. Check that both are exactly the same. If not, finish off the round there. And obviously we've both got left and right arm, so you'll need a left and right cuff. And now I'm going to sew. I'm using a normal flatbed machine. And this is what I'm doing now is enabling me to attach the cuff to the sleeve with no extra joins on it, so this is all pre-done. A perfect join, you don't want any joins seeing. Trim as you go. That's number one. And then they will be pressed.
Okay.
So that's your cuffs done. Now I'm going to do the collar. I pre-prepared the collar. Same. Now what I've done, I've attached a reinforcement fused end on the end of the band, and a reinforcement fused patch on the collar lining, just purely and simply so that when it's worn, you've got a little bit of structure on the points, but you still got a very nice soft collar. And the same applies to the band. You've got a little bit of structure on the band there, but a nice soft collar. And now we're going to go to our nice old antiquated collar turner. It's even older than me. This is the very old collar turner, but it's doing its job and it's brilliant.
How old is this?
Oh, 1820, something like that. And it used to have all big presses on it and everything, but now you've simply got the points there. And what I do, I feed this in and turn. As you can see, it's all done manually. And then to help with the process, I then do a little bit of pressing. I press out the seam. I'm too busy, honestly. Just to mention, I already pre-sewn in the bone slots
Oh, right, for putting the,
for detachable bones for laundering.
Indeed.
And obviously, because they would be detached for laundering, and I've already done the points part, okay?
Perfect.
Now I'm going to finish the collar. Now I'm going to top stitch the collar,
Okay.
making sure that there's no roll. This is the most important part of the collar. You don't want any rollback, and you don't want any fullness. You want a nice flat, even collar. And it's a loose collar. As you can see, this is a loose collar. You've got a 3-ply, you've got 1, 2, 3. Some collars are fused, whereby gum is added to the lining, and it's fused onto the material.
Literally glued in another companies, but not when you use loose
No,
lines.
as you can see, you don't need it because I can make Turnbull Asser can make a nice flat collar without the need of the glue. So all I've done here is I've uniformed it. I've made sure that the points are even, and my points are going even, and I've made sure that I've got lock ends are both exactly the same, so that when it's worn around the neck, it's a completely uniform collar. And now I'm going to finish it off by making sure that the collar is nice and flat. What I'm doing now is just securing the collar, and now all the fullness, all the lining that was inside is now going to be concealed and held flat for comfort. So that there's going to be no ridges, so that when you're wearing it, it's going to be comfortable. And so there is your collar.
Fantastic.
As you can see.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Okay, so now you've got the collar and the cuff. So now I'm going to do the fronts. Each bespoke customer will have their own personal number accommodating with their bag pattern, and this is Blair's number, and this is the date his shirt was made, and that will stay on file forever. Now I'm just going to check that I've got 22 1/8 on my sleeve. From the point down, 22 1/8. As you can see,
Absolutely
it's cut perfect, as what I would expect. Now I'm going to make the sleeves. These sleeve gauntlets have been pre-folded purely for, again, uniformity and accuracy. But as you can see, they are still attached by hand. Now we put an extra piece on this side like this because a lot of our customers like what's called a bong. That means button-on gauntlet, and this particular shirt wants one as well. This is a gauntlet. It refers back to the old knights of old, where they used to have a gauntlet glove, or you throw in the gauntlet, a glove that protects the arm. But this piece has been, down the years, referred to as a gauntlet. And now I'm going to do what's called capping the sleeve head in preparation for when I set the sleeve into the shirt. As you can see, there's a notch there. That is so that the line from the shoulder down to the sleeve will all be cut. Okay, especially if you've got a striped material, it will all match. The same on a collar, the same on a cuff. This is the gauntlet going on now. Just making sure everything's measuring up. Don't want a twisted gauntlet. Now I'm going to do the head again. There are a lot of processes in a shirt that people don't realise. The reason why I've come up to a different machine is this machine has got a hemmer attachment. It's a 3/16 hem, and that will enable you to have a really nice fine hem. And what you do, you do a 3/16 hem, and then you close it down, and it becomes one of the strongest seams. I've seen shirts 30 years old, and the side seam is still perfect. Now, first of all, I need to hem the tail. So there's the tail of the shirt on the inside, and now I'm just going to use this attachment to make a hem. It goes, and that's the end result that comes out. It's a nice flat hem. Now, this is when I incorporate the front to the back. Again, this is a Turnbull Asser thing, and then you don't get horrible joints. There's my notch, and there's my seam. I put that together there. Hold that. You need 3 hands now. Come down. There, done it. Now, again, make sure that under the arms match. And there we are. The shirt is very much looking like a shirt now. It is, isn't it? As you can see. Now at the end of this seam, just for TNA always has a gusset on the end. If you're buying a ready-to-wear TNA shirt, invariably it will have a white gusset. That is the white flash of a TNA gusset. But on a bespoke, you usually have a self gusset. That differentiates between a bespoke and a ready-to-wear. And just, even though that is strong, this gusset, as well as for aestheticness, just for the look, this is actually provides a strength, okay? Now a gusset in the dictionary simply means a reinforced piece of work. So I'm just going to attach that on there. This is the ones I pressed earlier on, and I'm just going to attach this gusset to the end of this seam for strength. And so there is your reinforced seam gusset at the end of your seam. Okay? And obviously I've got to do the same on the other side. And now I'm going to attach the cuff when I've done this. Now on certain orders the customer will ask for a pleat into the cuff, but invariably a Turnbull Asser has a French cuff. It's gathered all the way around. As well as it's a feature of Turnbull Asser, and it's like an aestheticness. But apart from that, instead of having the pleats going to the side and sort of like jaggered in the sleeves, I find it always gives you a nice all-round fullness down the sleeve. And again, that's a Turnbull Asser feature. You won't find that in any of the other stores, or even bespoke makers. They don't do that. If you watch all the newsreaders or all the people on the telly, as soon as I see their sleeve, I say, oh, he's got a Turnbull shirt on. Yes, I can identify who made what. And also, obviously, the cloth range, because all cloths of Turnbull Asser, apart from St Thomas Mason's, but they're all exclusive to Turnbull Asser. And over the years, you know which is a Turnbull Asser cloth. Yeah. And some of them archived go back a century. Yeah. I need to get this gathered. Now, when I say gathered, I got a fuse. I got a rouge across the cuff there. I want the collar to sit evenly around the neck. I want this collar, when he's attached, to sit evenly on the shoulders. And to do that, I need to make sure that he's not running to the left or to the right. I need to put that on. Okay. Now there are lots of different ways to attach cuffs. When it's a single cuff, it is put on the gather on the inside, so as it's there. When it's a double cuff, you fold in the gauntlet part here, so that when the cuff is worn double like that, you've got a nice flat gauntlet. But because this is a 2-button turn back, it's still going to be worn like a button cuff. But because it's folding back on itself, it's going to be attached like a single. The rouge is even, yes? And so that is your shirt. This is the button and buttonholing stage of the shirt. This is Margaret. Margaret will be doing the buttonholing for us and the button sew. And Margaret can actually adjust the size of the buttonhole to accommodate the size of the button just by touching the pad here. It's a good machine, and as you will see, as the blade goes down, it will literally cut the buttonhole.
Oh, wow.
That is a 16 line for the collar and a 18 line for the fronts and an 18 line for the cuff and a 16 line for the bong. Okay, but again, they are all mother of pearl, and now Margaret is going to sew the buttons onto you. When the elasticated gummed thread will be wrapped around the button, and then it literally, the nippers will come over and heat fuse that together. So as you can see, that is without it, with no shank, and then with the wrap it's now got a shank. Now if you see, I just place it through the thing and you can see the difference. This is a shank and that is flat. And that is one completed shirt. And now we're going to go to quality control.
Okay.
The press will come down and press. And that will give you the right angle of the collar.
Brilliant.
And this is the stage where the bone stays will go in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and now the yoke will be pressed. Yeah, this has got a twin press, and this will, when it's on, there will be air, and this will all inflate, and it will press the back and the front of the shirt crisp. Okay. Now, because it's bespoke, it won't have a board; it will have tissue. If it was a stock shirt, it would have a board. And that's it.
Amazing.
Ah, Mr. Ballard, we've been expecting you. Welcome. I have your shirts here.
Oh, fantastic. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Here we are, the two shirts that you kindly ordered from us. Fabric 4085 and fabric 1004.
They're
Beautiful. Bond in all
absolutely
their elegance.
beautiful. These ones we saw being made over in Quedgeley, but they finally arrived here. Let's try them on.
Excellent. Sir, may I take your jacket?
Indeed, thank you. I think we'll go for the blue one today. Fantastic.
Yes, Mr. Bond. It's rather fun. We do like this. These are lovely shirts. And yes, yours are also by appointment. It's a lovely shirt.
Fantastic.
Mr. Ballard, what a lovely fitting shirt. That's absolutely awesome.
Absolutely perfect. It's like a glove.
It's
Obviously,
almost like you went to the factory to have it made for you.
incredible, isn't it? No, absolutely. I mean, the craftsmanship and skill, it's absolutely beautiful.
It's really good. We still make them in the same way that we have always done. There's no reason not to. So the seams are finished with 2 rows of single needle stitching to create a double row of stitching. Most people will just have a machine which has 2 needles set into it, and they'll run that up the side seam. What we do is we use a single needle to run up the side seam, turn the shirt round and run back. So even if the thread should become loose through damage, then the shirt is not going to unravel. And it's not changed. We don't mess with anything. I mean, we change things sometimes. So in all of the shirts we make, which are probably about 90,000, we don't supply a spare button because the buttons don't come off. But of course, some people phone and say they've lost a button. Most annoying. Maybe once a year, most annoying. So we decided what we would do is we tweak it ever so slightly so that no one would know but us. It will be an improvement that's virtually undetectable and not experienced or interferes with the customer's experience. And so each of the buttons is hand shanked, i.e. the little threads behind the button are wrapped in a cotton, nylon and wax thread and heated so that the seals that thread onto the back of the button to reduce the wear on the threads that hold the button in place.
Kath showed me, we had a bit of footage of that as the actual fusing of the shank. It's absolutely, fascinating.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing and makes it bulletproof like this. I mean, yeah, I think very Bondian.
Almost the most commented on is the collar. The collar assembly is critical, and you haven't because we haven't done that here. This is left as a live collar, so the fabric is not glued onto the collar lining, but it's left loose, and that is how we make them. You should be wearing the shirt, not the glue. You can have a fused collar. My wife loves them because you don't need any ironing, but actually it's not how really we want to have the shirts made.
So loose lined versus fused?
Yes,
loose lined all the way?
Yes, indeed. And then the removable collar stays as well. You should never really have a shirt which has bits of plastic bolted into it that can never be removed. It's a cheat. It's I wouldn't say cheap as such, but it's a cheat, and it's not so gentlemanly.
Okay, absolutely.
How does it feel?
It absolutely fits like a glove. The Connery,
Yes, that's
cocktail.
very, very stylish. Very, very stylish.
There we go. So that's the Connery variation of the 2-button turn back. Here we go. Absolutely
lovely.
Great. Very flamboyant, but very Bondian as well. So my Brosnery, I've got my Brosnan Connery splice. Could not be happier. And actually having seen these being made, I mean, I was there for 6.5 hours. It was just but Kath and the team there were absolutely brilliant, and they made it so fascinating. And it was just the skill, the craftsmanship was absolutely amazing. So fantastic. Yes. I was thinking as a tangent.
Yes.
We obviously have lots of fans out there. Would you, or have you ever done in the past, entertained having a sort of Bond event here in
Yes,
in
we have done. There are companies have approached us to ask if we would do that, just such a thing for them. So in the evening when the shop is closed, we then set it up for them as a private meeting, a private party, and then we share with them what we do. It usually is associated with having shirts made for the people that are there. It's that sort of evening, and so we'll take some measures, have some shirts prepared for a little later on, of course, but then also share the story of Bond. We have numerous posters that we have around the store that we pull in, and a sound system which allows us to play Blonde-themed music. But you know, something else I think that would go with this shirt is really the tie that was originally designed to go with this colourway for Pierce Brosnan. Appreciating you've got a mixture shirt there, but I've got that tie, if you may permit me to go and get it.
Let's go and have a look.
So this has to be my favourite tie of the three. It's absolutely going to look stunning on this shirt. It is gorgeous.
It pop, doesn't it? It's absolutely fantastic.
It really does. One would never have thought that brown in town would go so well, but it really does. It's absolutely gorgeous. Brilliant. And this is from the film Tomorrow Never Dies.
Indeed. I think one of Brosnan's finest ones. And you've got two more. I do. Just to tease you, just to give you choice that you don't need or want. So here we have The World Is Not Enough. Yeah.
And
Liking
finally,
it, loving it.
Die Another Day. This is particularly versatile this time. It goes with every blue suit, every white shirt, and every grey suit. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful. There we go.
So clearly, Mr. Ballard, you are now a fan of Turnbull and Asser and a fan of Bond. Otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Always.
That's good. We are fans ourselves. I mean, people often ask us, what is it, our relationship? And our relationship is us. We are as much about Bond as we are about ourselves. It is a part of our history. It's a part of our blood that we have served him. In serving the actors, we've served him, the character, as well. And we are very, very pleased to do so. Very privileged to do so. It's great fun. And again, it's almost a part of our English heritage. Bond is very much the Englishman. And he is not played by other people. He is played by an English guy. He is not Jason Bourne. He is not Tom Cruise. He is James Bond, and it's fabulous.
Turnbull and Asser is England. It's so true. Your lining.
Oh, this.
You showed me that earlier on. Look at this. I love it.
We are England through and through.
We are England through and through. I mean, well, it is. We are on hallowed ground here, really, because obviously Ian Fleming
had shirts made here.
The Turnbull and Asser is alluded to in the books, isn't it? Because he gets his shirts made on German Street.
Absolutely.
So it's Turnbull and Asser, and obviously 4 out of the 6 Bonds.
Yeah, we're very pleased.
Had their
we're
shirts
very
made.
pleased.
So I mean, this has been possibly for me the ultimate Bond experience, and I'd really just like to thank you, Liam, for being such an absolute star.
You're welcome.
For looking after us in such a wonderful fashion.
It's not a problem at all, sir.
Thanks very much.
Mr. Ballard, thank you very much for your business. Thank you very much. Here is your shirts, your Bond shirts. Enjoy. We would always share with you that the service doesn't finish with you taking these shirts away. We're here, whatever your need is, always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, guys, well, there you have it. From start to finish, the Bespoke experience here at Turnbull and Asser. Huge thanks go to Liam, obviously, for the wonderful Bond experience he's shown me here in Berry Street. Also, I'd love to say a huge thanks to all the staff at the Quedgeley factory in Gloucester. Special thanks go to Jessica Moore for coordinating my visit and actually helping out behind the camera, amazingly enough, wonderful. Also to the twins, Bet Elton and obviously Kath Cope. Kath especially, you only saw a brief snapshot of my visit there. I was there for 6.5 hours. I saw my shirt being made from start to finish. She was an absolute star all the way through, so massive thanks to her for that. But there we go. I mean, Turnbull and Asser, the fact that they are the finest shirt makers in the world is beyond dispute, but it's not just the attention to detail and the dedication to absolute perfection, the finest materials, the skill and craftsmanship. That's a given. Turnbull and Asser are the best shirt makers in the world, but it's the people that make Turnbull and Asser the great British institution that it is. So from me, Blair Ballard, here in St James's in London, I bid you a Bond farewell. Thank you.
Oh, hey, you're still here. I didn't even know. You listen, while you're here, if you want, so I would actually go to this button right here and click on it, because then you actually subscribe to our vlogs. It's amazing. You get to see all the upcoming stuff first. You get notifications. It screams at you while you're at work. It's absolutely amazing. Just click on this button, hit subscribe. Just move your cursor, move